The Eredivisie is the top level of men's professional football in the Netherlands, but its influence is much bigger than the size of the country suggests. Officially founded in 1956, it became the highest tier of the Dutch football pyramid just 2 years after professional football began in the Netherlands. The name translates roughly as the honor division or premier division, and that fits its role. This is where Dutch national champions are made. As of the 2024-25 season, UEFA ranks it as the 7th best league in Europe, placing it just outside the continent's biggest commercial giants but firmly among the elite competitive systems. The Eredivisie is famous for producing technically gifted players, tactically adventurous teams, and clubs that often punch above their financial weight in Europe. To understand the Eredivisie, you have to understand its basic structure. The league has 18 clubs. Each club plays every other club twice in a season, once at home and once away. That creates a balanced schedule where every team faces the same opponents under both home and travel conditions. At the end of the season, the club with the most points is crowned Dutch national champion. Wins, draws, and losses follow the standard football points system, so consistency matters across the full campaign. A club cannot simply rely on beating its biggest rival. It must handle away trips, smaller stadiums, winter conditions, and matches against teams fighting relegation. The format rewards depth, rhythm, and adaptability over a long season. The bottom of the Eredivisie table is just as important as the top. The 2 lowest-placed clubs are automatically relegated to the Eredivisie, the second level of Dutch men's football. In their place, the champion and runner-up of the Eredivisie are automatically promoted to the Eredivisie. This creates a direct link between the 2 divisions and keeps the league pyramid alive. Relegation is not just a sporting disappointment, it can affect revenue, player contracts, sponsorships, and a club's ability to attract talent. Promotion, meanwhile, can transform a club's future overnight. For smaller teams, reaching the Eredivisie means bigger television exposure, larger away crowds, and the chance to test themselves against historic Dutch institutions. There is also a dramatic middle ground between survival and relegation. The team finishing third from bottom in the Eredivisie does not go straight down. Instead, it enters separate promotion and relegation playoffs against 6 high-placed clubs from the Eredivisie. These playoffs are built for tension because they mix 2 very different pressures. The Eredivisie club is fighting to protect its top-flight status, while the second-tier clubs are chasing a rare chance to move up. On paper, the top-flight club may have more experience and stronger resources, but playoffs can compress an entire season into a few high-pressure matches. Momentum, confidence, and one mistake can decide a club's future. The Eridivisie's historical identity is dominated by 3 clubs, Ajax, PSV Eindhoven, and Feyenoord. They are known as the Big Three, or the traditional top 3, of Dutch football. Ajax have won the most Dutch league titles, with 36. PSV are next with 27, and Feyenoord follow with 16. Since 1965, these 3 clubs have won all but 3 Eredivisie titles. That level of dominance gives the league a clear historical center of gravity. For many seasons, the title race has meant asking which of the big 3 will be strongest. But their rivalry is not only about trophies. It reflects different cities, traditions, fan cultures, football philosophies, and eras of Dutch football development. Ajax are often the club most closely associated with the global image of Dutch football. Based in Amsterdam, Ajax became famous for developing technically gifted players and for a style of play linked to intelligence, movement, and positional understanding. Their record number of league titles reflects decades of domestic excellence. In Eredivisie terms, Ajax are not only a successful club, they are a reference point. When Ajax are strong, they can set the standard for the entire league. Their academy tradition also connects the Eredivisie to world football, because Dutch-trained players have often moved from the domestic league to major European competitions. Ajax's success shows how the Eredivisie can be both a national championship and a player development platform. PSV Eindhoven provide a different kind of powerhouse. Based in Eindhoven, PSV have built a history of consistency, strong recruitment, and repeated title challenges. With 27 titles, they are Ajax's closest historical competitor in the Dutch championship race. PSV's identity is tied to a city known for industry and technology, and the club has often been praised for practical squad building and competitive efficiency. In the Eredivisie, PSV are rarely just participants, they are expected to compete for the top. Their presence helps keep the league from becoming a one-club story. When PSV and Ajax are both strong, the title race can become a test of style, squad depth, and the ability to manage European matches alongside domestic pressure. Feyenoord complete the traditional top three. Based in Rotterdam, they carry one of the most passionate fan cultures in Dutch football. With 16 titles, Feyenoord's trophy count is below Ajax and PSV, but their historical importance is enormous. Their identity is often associated with working-class pride, intensity, and emotional connection between club and city. Feyenoord's successes matter because they interrupt the expected rhythm of Dutch football and remind everyone that the Eredivisie is not only about technical systems or financial models. It is also about atmosphere, belief, and momentum. When Feyenoord challenge for the title, the league gains a different emotional energy, because Rotterdam's football culture turns a championship race into a national event. Although the Big Three dominate the record books, the Eredivisie has not been completely closed. Since 1965, only 3 titles have gone outside Ajax, PSV, and Feyenoord. AZ won in 1981 and again in 2009, while 21 in 2010. These exceptions are important because they show how difficult, but not impossible, it is to break the pattern. For a challenger, winning the Eredivisie usually requires more than one good run of form. It demands excellent recruitment, tactical clarity, a strong dressing room, and the ability to survive pressure from clubs with deeper traditions and larger fan bases. When an outsider wins, it becomes one of the defining stories of Dutch football history. Another unusual feature of Eredivisie history is that Ajax, PSV, and Feyenoord are the only clubs in their current form that have never been relegated from the league. That continuity strengthens their status. They have been present through different football eras, tactical revolutions, sponsorship changes, broadcast deals, financial shifts, and the modern global transfer market. Utrecht has a related historical note. The current club was formed in 1970 from a merger of 3 clubs in the city, one of which, VV Das, had also never been relegated from the Eredivisie. These details show that Dutch football history is not just a list of winners. It is also a story of institutional survival, mergers, identities, and continuity. The league's name has changed several times because of sponsorship. From 1990 to 1999, it was officially called the PTT Telecompetitie, named after sponsor PTT Telecom. In 1999, that became KPN Telecompetitie when PTT Telecom changed its name to KPN Telecom. In 2000, the league became KPN Eredivisie. From 2002 to 2005, it was known as the Holland Casino Eredivisie. Sponsorship names are common in modern football, but the Eridivisie's naming history also reflects the growing commercialization of the game. A domestic league is not only a sporting competition, it is a media product, a sponsorship asset, and a national brand. Names change as companies, laws, and broadcast markets change. Since the 2005-06 season, the league has been sponsored by the Vereniging Loterij, a lottery organization. For legal reasons, however, its name was not initially attached to the league, because the Dutch government objected to the Eredivisie again being sponsored directly by a company connected to games of chance after the Holland Casino period. From the 2025-26 season, the competition is set to be rebranded as the Vereniging Loterij Eredivisie. This may sound like a small branding detail, but it shows how football operates within law, politics, and public policy. Sponsorship money is valuable, yet leagues must balance commercial opportunity with regulation and public perception, especially when gambling or lotteries are involved. Broadcasting has also shaped the modern Eredivisie. In August 2012, it became public that Rupert Murdoch had secured the league's rights for 12 years at a cost of €1 billion, starting with the 2013-14 season. Within that deal, the 5 largest Eredivisie clubs were set to receive €5 million per season. Television money affects competitive balance, club planning, and the league's ability to keep talent. Yet the Eredivisie still operates in a challenging European market where richer leagues can buy many of its best players. That has helped define its modern role. It is a top European league, but also a launching pad where young players, coaches, and ideas develop before moving on to bigger financial stages. The Eredivisie's story is a mix of tradition and constant change. It has a simple league format, fierce promotion and relegation stakes, and a title race historically shaped by Ajax, PSV, and Feyenoord. But it is also a league where outsiders can occasionally break through, where clubs rely on youth development and smart scouting, and where sponsorship and broadcasting have transformed the business around the pitch. The abandoned 2020 season during the COVID-19 pandemic showed that even long-established competitions can be disrupted by events far beyond football. Still, the Eredivisie remains one of Europe's most important leagues because it keeps producing talent, tactical ideas, and championship drama from a small country with a huge football footprint. If you found this helpful, please like this video and subscribe for more explainers.